and make the countdown.
Can it before? Oh, no.
Hold on. We're live, but hold on. Watch. We can do a countdown now. Watch. Countdown starts now. And now you have 13 seconds. 11 seconds. Now it's 7 seconds until the show starts. Now it's starting. Look. Ooh, I like that. I feel like I really like that. I feel like it was New Year's themed.
I like it. But do they get the music?
I sure hope so. I don't know what anybody on the other end is getting because we're in 2021. There may not be real internet. Are you real?
I don't really know anymore at this point. I'm hoping that I might have already ascended and this is just remnants.
Real? It's just your shell that we're talking to. That's right.
Yeah,
today,
it's
guys.
Always just my shell that we're talking
to. Today, you're joining the shell of Sarah and the shell of Kenna for the very first soft launch. And we say soft launch because we're still waiting for one of our artists that we are supporting that's providing our logo. It's over on Kenna's side up by her shoulder. So it's over by Kenna. Oh. There it is. He actually had a heart attack, so we're not going to force that. That was 2020. We're going to be doing filming together in 2020 on numerous occasions, but that also, if you saw the filming that we got out of that, trust me, guys, it'd be a 2020. It'd just be a series of outtakes. No, but seriously.
Yeah.
It would be
lots of B-roll.
It would be lots of B-roll. Us dancing. If you've been joining us on social media, on Instagram, anywhere at Kenna Sarah versus, you will see some really funny. You and I, when we were in Savannah, Georgia, and we went to the dueling piano bar. And I won't say too much. I
left a changed woman that night after all that I saw.
It was an experience. But anyway, guys, today is that soft launch meeting that we're just waiting on some of those final touches before we really get finalized in our space and launch on a network and soar and do all those things. Because we're still waiting, all those things. But we didn't want to leave anybody hanging, and especially on New Year's Day, because this is that day that everything starts for a lot of people wanting to start those routines. We don't want to be left out of your routine, and it's every Monday and every Friday at noon for the afternoon, just an afternoon show, right? Just not too early.
Noon for the afternoon.
Not too late. But just a good show. And it's one that, we're talking about our paranormal adventures, our metaphysical soirees, our journeys into uplifting spirit. We do a lot of psychic work together, Kenna and I. And she's always doing crazy weird. Kenna, you're always doing weird stuff. Like, tell people what you did for Thanksgiving. Who was at your house right around Thanksgiving out on the patio singing country music?
I was like, I'm weird. I do weird things. What?
Lone Star?
Yeah. I was like, what? What weirdness did I do? That was Christmas. That was for Christmas. Yes.
That was Christmas. No, that wasn't Thanksgiving. That was Christmas.
I know. You threw me off. I was like, what was I doing weird in November?
Amazing things, though. Amazing things. And
so actually, to detail a little,
yes,
I had 100 caregivers of injured and ill service members, veterans that joined me virtually for a French toast making class. With Dean from Lone Star, and then we had like a very small back porch concert, and we streamed it to our 100 caregivers across the country. Yeah, it was a blast. It was so much fun. When they sang that, when they sang "I'm Already There," I just sat there squalling. I couldn't even. Every caregiver there. You
were within 10 feet of them. You could smell their French toast breath.
No, I wasn't that close.
Yes, you
You
were
know,
that close.
there's still some social distancing going on. I'm not getting up in anybody's face.
It was an amazing story. It was one of those
Yeah.
stories where throughout that adventure, um, following you along on social media, like there was catastrophes, 2020 catastrophes.
Oh gosh, don't even let me get you started on that night. Every single thing. Oh my gosh, everything that could have
Flashbacks.
gone wrong from vehicles breaking down to missing musical equipment that the music store forgot to provide to yeah, it was to
You know,
breakers being blown from griddles. It was a hot mess. But
yeah, you're
we
gonna
made
have
it
Lone
happen.
Star. You're gonna
Yeah.
have Lone Star in your house, and you got to have, at the very least, equipment.
Well, yeah. Yeah. It was a mess. We made it work,
But
you
it
know.
worked, and it was a success, and everybody loved it. And you had Lone Star singing at your house for the holidays on your patio because you're in Georgia, so it's warm there. Whereas
Yeah,
here, I'm in Minnesota, guys, and so it's
no.
like hellaciously cold, hellaciously cold. Um, Gosh, guys, it's so fun. We're seeing Ruth, we're seeing Aaron, so that means we've already got people from Scotland, we've got people from the crazy Americas. Oh my gosh. Speaking of, because we're just ranting today, guys. So if you guys have something you want to chat about in the chat room, let us know. Otherwise, we're going to
Yeah.
cover 2020 and our goals for 2021. Mostly just optimistic goals for 2021. Some things that we're going to be doing and that we're excited about. One, some of the people we're seeing in here, we recently hung out with at our crystal show.
Oh.
Don't you know? That's where I got you and you. And Becky, you know about Becky. You know about Becky.
Becky.
Not Cerberus, but I love all my crystals, but no, it's a problem. It's not that big of a problem. It is kind of a problem. And yeah, you guys, we're doing it on the 11th of every month. And so I know that some of the people I'm seeing in there are sharing their comments like it is a problem. It is a problem. And you guys, we're not only on YouTube, but on Facebook as well. So feel free to send any of your direct messages or chats there. I'm doing my best to manage it all because it is just the shell of Sarah. Not
I know. I'm trying to figure out what part of 2020 Kenna like dissipated because
Well, we had some really fun. I was thinking back because someone in the YouTube chat had said, "Okay, what was your favorite thing you guys did in the Kenna and Sarah adventures?" So that's man, the favorite thing. So there were two kind of big events in 2020 that we connected for. I think of the spring first. So let's go there first. The first
that
one
would
in the
be
spring.
Old
When was
South.
that? Yes. Oh, that's right. Old South Pittsburgh Hospital.
Yes,
Who all
Old
has been to the old Travel Channel's most haunted? Zach Baggins seeing demons in the corner.
South.
Or who was it that saw demons in the corner? Who was it that said they saw somebody in the corner?
I'm bad about watching these shows.
They
I'm like
were.
my playlist of stuff I have to get caught up on goes back to like the end of Paranormal State.
Ooh,
I've got to go all the way back and then work my way up. And I just me and time. There's a lot of shows I missed out on.
well, we're parents. We have children, believe it or not, and we have businesses and we work and we have husbands and we have houses to clean and wively things to do and womanly things to attain to in the realm of
Just
the
time consuming.
peasantry. Peasantry. Yeah, it is time consuming. But this is something like that we
I want
do.
I want you to narrate a book and or narrate several books, and each time I want a different I want a different character.
I would love it. It's one of those people ask where my voices come from, and that's a good question because it could be a dissociative thing. It probably mostly is for sure, but I do voice acting, so people sometimes will ask like, "What are money? How do I make money?"
Oh, you have Kermit the Frog coming to you.
It's not. I can't even now. I can't do it now that you've said it. Now that you've called him out, it's like you exercised it when you said his name. Psalm 41. I know your name, and now you are mine, and that's how I felt it was. Yeah, I do voice work. This breaks a lot of hearts. I'm going to say something. Let's just break hearts in 2021. Should I?
Let's just start the day off right. Start the new year off with a broken heart.
So I don't think people even listen to that's not true. People still listen to the radio. I know I do. Um, if you
The
listen to the
ocean
radio,
of a radio star.
by the way, who died today? Somebody, Headroom. He was an MTV pop culture icon. He died today. But that's not a huge deal as far as starting off 2021 in a terrible way. Um,
To start my first announcement, somebody
well, that
has
was a
died.
died.
Okay,
But it's not a big deal.
on to more positive.
More positive, but still not entirely crazy positive, but somewhat positive. It is uplifting. Is that oh goodness, what were we even talking about in that moment? There's Samantha and Ruth again. Listen to the radio. Oh, that's right. War of the Roses. Anybody out there like War of the Roses?
Don't know what it is.
Woo! I'm calling in because I think my husband's cheating on me and I want you to send the roses to him and see what he does. Okay, we're going to call him up. So
Wait,
the radio station calls up your husband or whomever. And they're like, "Hi, this is Jean and I'm calling from Downtown Roses. And we are a new business in town and we are offering a dozen free roses to anybody who is willing to deliver in the Tri-County area. And your name came up in a business card. You do work it," and they bleep it out. And the person's like, "Yep." And they're like, "And you're so and so." And they bleep it out. And they're like, "Yep." Great. Well, then you have won a dozen free roses. So I can send those to whoever you'd like with a personal message. Just let me know. And so then everyone's listening, right? And everyone gets really excited about this War of the
oh
Roses.
my gosh, I would have such anxiety.
And it's really serious. And they do this on all the big radio stations and people listen and they cut to a break and oh my God, what's going to happen? Especially if it's a good, juicy story. Then they get
Oh
him on the
no.
line and he's like, "So, you can't track this, right? You're not taking my credit card." "That's right. We're not taking anyone's credit card. It's just to be
Uh,
clear." And then
uh,
they'd be like, "I want to send them to Lacey down at Diamond Joe's. And I want it to say, thanks for a good night." It's like, "What do you mean, John? What do you mean?" "Wait, what? What?" "That's right. You're on Kiss 92. And we've been listening the whole time. This is your wife, Sheila. And why, John, are you doing?" And the whole
oh
thing.
my gosh.
But it's not real. It's not real. None of it's real. It's not real. It's
That's
me.
awful.
It's me. They're paying me to do it. And other people and other voice actresses. But it's not real. It can't be because it's a liability. So it's either,
Yeah.
it's either like an impromptu thing, but it's really kind of cool to see what radio stations do what and what radio stations give you a really strict script. And it's all fake. None of it's real. None of what you're hearing on the radio is real.
I know, but I would sit there as the concerned citizen, like, Neil is gonna get
Oh,
it.
oh my gosh, Kenna. Oh my gosh. Okay. One of my radio shows, because for anybody who doesn't know me, if you're just listening to the first time, I'm sorry. You're just getting the shell of Sarah. The real Sarah might even be more intense. I don't know. Kenna, am I that intense? I don't think I'm that intense.
uh, I want to make a TV show that follows you around. Oh, oh,
Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe I'm perfectly normal. Uh, and no, I want to. So I had to be a home wrecker. I had to be a home wrecker, and so this radio station's like, "We're going to put you on live, and we are going to let you yell at the people, and the people are going to yell at you. So go
what?
ahead, feel free." Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're gonna yell at you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because I'm going to be a home wrecker, and so they'll be like, "All right, so this morning, wow, John, we've got a really crazy call
Oh,
this
you're
morning."
saying you were a fake homewrecker.
I'm a fake home wrecker on the radio stations.
Oh,
Right,
I was
right,
like,
right,
Sarah,
right.
we need to work on
My bluntness.
your ethics and your Sarah. I
No,
know you're the devil character on the shoulder.
in the radio
Okay,
station.
okay, okay.
In the voice acting, I'll play a home wrecker, and they're like, "Wow, John, we got a real crazy one today." So we got this email. Her name is Lacey, and she likes to be a home wrecker. Yeah, she says that's her thing. What? Yeah. So we've got her on the line. She said she's going to talk to us this morning, Lacey, and I'll be like, "Yep, that's me." They're like, "Wow, so you actually like that?" I'm like, "Absolutely." because then I don't have to do their laundry. You know what I mean? Like,
You have
absolutely. You just purge, you just cathartic. And people would call in and be like, how can you live with yourself? And I'd be like,
this is the
wow.
media. This
This is why when people call me a conspiracy theorist, I want to show them my paycheck, but I can't. I'm not allowed to. But it's fake. It's all fake. Isn't that
this
crazy? You don't have to worry about anything in 2021. Don't worry about a single thing. You don't have to worry
I
about
already
a single
kind of
thing.
had that mindset. I already put myself into that mindset at some point because I could see 2020 going downhill. And
2021.
well, no, I was talking about 2020. I
Oh.
like just been floating the past 6 months, trying to make it through, but we made it. Here we are.
When did it hit you? Samantha goes, yes, I feel this. When did it hit you in 2020 that things may not be okay?
uh, well, right when COVID hit, I literally became Snow White. I found myself or Sleeping Beauty, whichever one is out there talking to all the animals all day, done gone crazy,
All of
out by
them.
herself.
All those Disney princesses do that.
Yes, so that was Kenna. I was out there like learning the call of the birds and tweeting to the birds, and I was having nature walks every day. But I didn't feel like I had lost it at that point. That was really magical because trees in my yard that have never bloomed. Well, we've only been there 2 years, but in those 2 years, these trees haven't bloomed. And then all of a sudden, right when everything hit, all these different bushes and trees were flowering. And I was just like, Lily. Out there, I learned we put a bird feeder in front of my kitchen, in front of the window, and 12 or 13 different species of birds started coming to the bird feeder. And so I learned all the males, all the females. I learned their call. I would watch their nest. I would walk around
What
my
were you
house.
using? Were you using a phone app or just going to your phone or taking their picture? What were you using?
My eyeballs. What do you mean? What was I using?
But I mean,
Oh,
some people to learn, like, were you
oh,
like,
oh, the internet. I would type in like backyard birds of Georgia and it would pull up the pictures. So then I would be like, oh, that's the tuft titmice that's coming to my window. And there's the cardinal and there's the chickadee and that's the male cardinal and that's the female and that's the eastern bluebird. And I was like
the
obsessed.
tufted
And then
titmouse?
yes, the titmouse is so cute. It's got like a little gray peck, like a little pointy thing. Oh, they're so cute. They're very cute. But
Yeah.
my favorite, there's this bird called a eastern phoebe, and these little jokers are the cutest. They're like little fluffy. I love you too, Sam. Samantha Belvoir. I do. I do. This this little bird's a super fluffy, fat little cotton ball, and they made a nest
Oh.
right above our kitchen. And she brooded twice, so she had
What's that mean?
two sets of eggs. That means when yeah. So instead of just laying one set in the spring, she did two
Brooded.
different.
What does brooded mean? Lay eggs? To lay eggs?
Yes.
Tut. Okay. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know a lot about birds.
I
I don't
don't
know a
either.
lot about birds.
This was my beginning adventure into birds, and we became obsessed with it. Like you would have four different birds on the tree at one time, and just watching them interact with each other. And then we put like a peanut roll out on our on the tree as well. And I came out one day, man, I love these animals, but I've also been battling them. I came out one day and like my branch just broke off this tree that I love, and I'm like, what the heck happened? And the peanut roll is gone. And I found it like hiding under one of
The
the,
squirrels did
it
it.
wasn't a squirrel. So it was so cute that I started leaving them treats out in the woods. But a baby possum and a baby raccoon were coming up at night and climbing up I was watching them on the camera the next day. I could like reverse it and like, okay, where'd that thing go missing?
Oh.
And then you could like slow it down. Yeah, and then this raccoon at the exact we lost me for a second, sorry. Yeah, so they took they were taking my treats. And
Man.
then I was so excited because I planted these beautiful flowers in my flower bed and I've been bragging about them growing, growing, growing. And then one day I walked outside and they were all gone. And I was like, oh, who cut my plants? I was so mad about it. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I've got a camera. And it was this little baby deer that was coming up eating all my flowers. And I was like, and they ate my
Oh.
strawberries. But I couldn't
See,
be
the more
mad.
information you have, the less likely you are to be angry about things,
I
right?
couldn't be. I was like, y'all are freaking cute. So now there's like hot dogs
Oh,
out on the 14 acres, and I put corn, and we like several
the
deer are
Lord
almost coming
knows
up
not
to
to
me.
gift me a baby possum. I love baby possums. My sister had a possum, a pet possum growing up named Lazarus. He was the cutest possum. I can't even. He would crawl
Was
up
he
on her
nice?
shoulder. Yes, he would crawl up on her shoulder and dangle on her. They don't get very big. Australian short-tailed possums don't get that big. And he
Oh,
was
I
so
didn't know that
cute.
they were
Oh, they're
specific.
so cute. Yes, you can get all sorts of crazy exotic possums as pets. That's why if I was up here, because you and I, for people who don't know, you live in Georgia on 14 acres. I live in Minnesota on 14 acres. So you live right down like just a few hours from the ocean, and I'm just a few hours from Canada. So
Mhm.
it's kind of weird.
I'm
It's a lot
this
of really
mirroring
weird little
thing
things. What
when I try to.
should I do
Oh, I
that?
did it right that time. I did it
Boom,
wrong the first time. This
boom.
trying to mirror yourself on this podcast on the camera.
It's hard. It's hard. Okay, so someone on YouTube had asked what the collaboration with the Warner Productions. What were we? Did we film? What were we filming? Um, so I know. Gosh, what weren't we filming? It seems like when you are working with Matt Warner, he's always got a camera on, and I say that
We
in the
feel.
nicest way.
I love old Maddie Mac. We filmed Old Pittsburgh. We filmed Oakland Cemetery. Matt and I also, we did, Matt and I did Boston. We did, not Boston, the Oliver House in Middleborough. We had a really cool experience that night. I like that place, the Oliver House.
Ooh, now see, I've not been to the Oliver House. Where's that at?
Middleborough, Sam, answer, save. Middleborough, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts?
Massachusetts. Yeah, I think so.
Save me, save me.
Yeah, I think that's the state. I'm not really sure. I just fly in and people drive me. So I never know where I'm going. But yeah, I think that's where it is. That's a really interesting place. I don't know the correct story to try and share it right now. I know that I saw a cat there. Like, yeah, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. But
Middleborough. Middleborough.
yeah,
That's like one of those Aaron from Scotland in there should be saving us on that word. That's like Edinburgh. 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 Middleborough. Middle. It's like a hobbit town. No, it's probably not. Massachusetts. I love Massachusetts. However, I learned I was if you go to Massachusetts, you might be like me and you want clam chowder. You want chowder. You want to go there and you want to have clam chowder. And when I think of clam chowder, I think of like a cream based, a delicious like onion and garlic made into something from like the Witches movie in the 80s that you want to eat that's really addictive, that's got like pieces of really hearty seafood and clams and potatoes in it. And then you arrive in Massachusetts and you learn that there are numerous versions of chowder and that you have to be specific because it will likely come as a broth, a clear broth.
I'm not a chowder I mean, I don't do clam anything, so I don't know of this problem you speak of.
It is huge issues for people like myself who expected the creaminess.
But that is
So
disappointing when you want your soup one way and you get it another. I do agree. Not on clam chowder, but I agree on I would be sad if someone gave me shrimp and corn chowder and it was
man,
brothy.
it's the worst. It's like it's just I'm sorry. It's one of those again on Kenna and Sarah versus when we travel. Man, I know a lot of the times on social media, that's one of the things that I'm pretty guilty of showing. When we were together in 2020 with, I'll get back to it, the Matt Warner. What were we filming? So they said you avoided it. Are you avoiding on purpose? No, I am not avoiding it on purpose. And Samantha shared in the chat room. Oh, wrong one. Oliver House and Christy Parish.
And no
Um,
clam chowder.
and no clam chowders. Fantastic. And I've not been to the Oliver House or the Christie Parish, and I need to whenever I was in
So,
Massachusetts last, it was a private thing. So
yeah. As
I
far as collabing with Matt, we haven't filmed anything for TV. We film stuff just to investigate and to learn and to if we get cool reactions or stuff like that.
for his
That's what,
content, mostly for his content.
yeah. Yep, yep,
Um,
yep.
Yeah, and then being able to with the Warner Productions, he does a lot of filming and photos too. So for anybody that saw like the photos that came out of that June trip where like Kenna and Sarah and Matt are at the big haunted cemetery and all the really cool architecture and things like that. What cemetery? That was the downtown Oakland. And then
Yes.
uh
One that I will
ah
be working at this year.
what? What?
Yes.
Give us the deets.
I'm excited.
Give us
It
details.
just depends on before I can get details on anything in this world, I gotta wait till January 6th to see who's officially gonna be in so we can figure out how things are going to run. But I'm supposed to be doing tour guiding, be a tour guide at Oakland Cemetery. Not working, volunteering with volunteer, but I'm obsessed with that place. If you're ever in Atlanta,
Yes. I've got people that privately in Minnesota that are going to be traveling that were very interested in that. So I'm excited to hear you say that you're doing
oh,
that because people that come there, oh,
well, the Margaret Mitchell. That's who wrote Gone with the Wind, right?
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so she's buried there. There's a lot of important activists. The first African American mayor of Atlanta. There's a lot of rich history there. And then you have that very controversial, the lion, that beautiful lion statue that's laying there holding the Confederate flag, and he's overlooking this hill of 4,000 Confederate soldiers. That's the one when all the rioting was going on, someone poured red paint all over
Yeah,
it.
I was going to say, is that still,
You
because
know,
when we
I
were there, it hadn't been,
well, the Oakland Cemetery is 48 acres now, so we didn't even get to the lion because they were already
had it been
they were
desecrated at
already
that
about to
point and we
close.
didn't
So
know
we
it.
were, huh?
I said, man, and it was one of those where I remember seeing those pictures of being like, oh no, are they going to have to clean it or get rid of it? Or how is that going to go? And like, because some of these things in the removal process, it's been, at least in Minnesota, where I'm from in Minneapolis, like we lost a lot of things to all sorts of the riots and protests and political craziness of 2020. Um,
Yeah,
and so I was like, oh no, is this something that we may never, be able to?
I don't know. I need to go check it out. There's a lot of Oakland Cemetery I haven't seen yet because it's like we literally covered
It's like
just
Disneyland. You got to go and spend a whole week there and just cover parts of it. And
yeah, it is.
yeah, well, that's one of the things that I know someone had asked. Samantha in the chat room had mentioned that she plans on coming to get a VIP tour. Yes,
Mhm.
Samantha Belvoir, guys, if you're not familiar, she's a really fantastic, I say psychic out of Missouri, but she specializes in the Estes method. So you can see some of her really cool interactions with the
Mhm.
Estes method and things that she's doing. And she, kind of similar to Kenna and I, travels around going to these really haunted locations, historic locations, non-haunted locations, and doing readings, doing metaphysical research,
Yeah.
asking questions, talking with people. Oh my gosh. I feel I felt I felt bad because that was my introduction to TikTok was this past November. That's how old I am, guys. Don't say anything. Um, that I just joined TikTok this November when we were filming in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
We were at an antique dealer. You took me to that really cool antique dealer in downtown Savannah, and he showed us that device. And I posted a video,
Oh yeah.
and there's no video, there's no audio to it.
Oh, I didn't. You just choked me. I didn't know where you were going with that. I forgot about the device.
Do you remember what it was?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So
What did he say? It was from the 1800s.
I think so. I think he said it was from the early 1800s, which, oh, he pulls
Is
out this thing.
It's
It wasn't
like
for sale, so I wish I mean,
it's
but
probably about this long from the top of my pen to the bottom of my pen, about that long, and then it's got this ring contraption. It's got two finger things. You stick your fingers through and you like pull something or you do something. And then in this circle, this little blade just goes. What was it, Sarah? What was this device?
well, I knew what it was right away because this is something that, you know,
I
came
I
up when I
didn't.
was a mom. Being a
I
mom
thought it
of
was
two
a dental
boys,
tool.
no, I put myself through really vivid desensitization where I told myself if I was going to have my little boy circumcised, that I would have to be able to watch a circumcision procedure done and feel okay with it and to know fully what I was making that consensual decision for my child. And I put myself through like, that wormhole of like, what did they do 50 years ago? What did they do just 100 years ago? And you start going down that wormhole and you're like, and then it's
So
really
you already
scary.
knew.
I knew what that device was when I saw it, and I thought,
Yeah.
no way does this man have this device.
An
He,
1800s circumcision tool. Yeah.
yeah, where they're taking the foreskin and piercing it and pulling and snipping and
But it's all in one quick, like, but it does look like a big dental shot with
it
the ring
does
with the.
because it's a combination of the thing going up between the thumb and the pulling of the fingers. And we interviewed that man and got that device. He had a few. Oh my gosh. And again, not items that he would sell because we go to these cool dealers, these antique dealers, as we're staying at bed and breakfasts and things like that. And we usually on the way out say, what's the craziest, weirdest thing you have in the store? It doesn't have to be haunted, but weird. What's the coolest, weirdest thing you have? And usually it's those items that aren't for sale, right? Do you remember the really cool other item that he had there next to the circumcision thing that I'm still upset that they weren't for sale?
I remember the picture. If y'all are ever in Savannah, I want y'all to go into this antique store and talk to Kenneth. His name is Kenneth, and he is the most amazing, but he has the coolest stuff. He
What's
has,
the name of it?
oh gosh, something in the attic. I got to look it up. I'll follow up. I'll let y'all know. But
Yeah, it's
he's
not junk
got,
in the attic, but it's
every
like,
time I go in there, he brings new art, new stuff that he's collected and saved. And the last time that I was there, he has all of the stuff from the very first African American police officer of Atlanta. Like, yeah, he all the stories about how he would have to go to the YMCA bathroom to put. I mean, he's got documents, he's got papers, he's got pictures. He has got such a collection of this like history, so he's saving it. I love it. I sat in there for like an hour listening to his stories. He had a ton of stuff like directly from Martin Luther King because Selma is
what?
a couple hours away.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. The Million Man March. That bridge is on my way home. We have to pass that area, but yeah. He's got. But he had the picture. Are you talking about the picture or something else?
Well, the picture, like an early 1900s postcard, like naughty postcards, which they were very cute. But the love letter
Oh yeah.
that
Oh
he,
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
this is one of those, like, I know again, I need to be careful with my ethics and what I say. If there were rioting and looting in Georgia and I was in Georgia and I was there and I was near this antique store, I would run in there and be like, give me that letter. You know the one. And he'd know, and I'd know, and I'd want that letter of all the things in that store. So it's this letter, and when you
From
fold it, it's
1901. It was written in 1901.
1901. Gosh, that's so cool that you remember that. And it was a trifold, so it was like a trifold. And in this trifold, you read it, and it was like, gee, golly gosh, Jenna, I sure would like to see you at 5 o'clock. Please ask your mother if it is okay that we meet. I sure would like to see you. And then underneath is oh, Johnny, it is absolutely wonderful to hear your voice. I absolutely will be able to meet you tonight under the clock tower at 10 o'clock. And it's like this really kind of cryptic, simple, My Fair Lady kind of beautiful handwriting, right? Just
Yeah.
beautiful handwriting. Oh, and then you open it
No,
and it's
you close
oh,
it.
that's
You
right.
fold it
That's
in
right. You
half.
closed it. It was a really naughty,
Yeah. So
direct
it was like
letter.
skipping half. Yeah, it was skipping half of the letter. So it would be like, I want to meet you in the bedroom at 8 p.m. and something about a butt and so I mean there was like not a
You'll get
butt
as
like that,
much
but
ass as you can handle.
yeah, it
Like
said, yeah,
for
much art.
1900s, it was extremely smutty. It was like one of those like,
Yeah,
what? I just can't imagine
that's one of the things he collected. I
them
would love to.
speaking that way.
I lose time in the antique shop. The picture that I was referring to, he had the picture of the boy that had an actual tail. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And
Oh
the
my
boy's tail
God.
stuck out like that far.
And
But
then I told you that Kesha has a tail.
well, I mean, you can't help what you're born
But
with.
I
I just
know.
I hope it
I
doesn't
know.
hurt your bottom.
I mean, the picture that he had a picture of people with tails.
What's the it's an extra vertebrae. It's like an extra vertebrae comes up, but he said that it didn't hurt because it's
He said it wagged
cartilage.
and that he tucked it when he sat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I hope that wasn't painful.
I can't help but laugh at that.
I
That's
mean,
hard. That's
yeah,
rough.
but yeah.
How many people are
Yeah.
born with
One of
tails?
his interesting collections, yeah.
That's
Every
so
time I go into
weird.
Savannah, I want to go ask for something new.
I mean, the weirdest stuff. And so we did that at numerous locations throughout Savannah, throughout Oakland, and in Tennessee. But of course, you know, it was kind of weird. Tennessee was such a different space. It was so different. Every state, 2020, that's what I think was weird. As we traveled, you would go from one state to the other, to the other, and they're all very different and how they're
Yeah.
managing COVID. So I don't know. For those of you in the chat room, let us know where you're at. How are things where you are at? Because things in Minnesota, pretty locked down.
Minnesota.
You got to have Minnesota. Oh, you know, if you're going to go outside, you got to have a mask on, which you'd want anyway because it's super cold. So it's actually really nice. Actually, I don't mind it only because it keeps my face warm. So for that, usually you're bundled anyway. So I haven't had a big issue with it up here in Minnesota, but you've got to be everywhere. Like the other day it occurred to me, I wanted to go grocery shopping with the boys, my two boys, because I was like, you know, if you guys just want to pick your own dinner, how about, because we've been cooped in for
Yeah.
8 months. And so it's like I'm getting tired of the same old things, and my oven top is broken, and so I have limited amounts of what I can make. It's got to be like a skillet kind of thing that you can make in 1 or 2 pots. I can't have 7 pots going or something like that. And I thought I can't take them with me to the grocery store because you can't have, you know, you can't have more than one person going in per family. And then I was thinking like I'm really blessed that I can leave my kids at home with my husband or, you know, because when you're quarantined, they're too young to leave in the car. You're not supposed to bring them in with you. If you don't have someone to leave them with, you just aren't going. And I used to live in Minneapolis, so my friends are like, just order it online. It's not a big deal. If your husband's out of town because he works out of town and you got to go to the grocery store, just order it online, have it delivered. Like, you don't understand. I live in northern Minnesota where they don't do that. They don't do that. Like, we don't even have a Papa John's. We don't have a Pizza Hut. We don't have a McDonald's where I live, guys.
So
Okay.
what do you have?
We have a Dairy Queen and a Wendy's. The Wendy's is 18 miles up the road. So that's a drive. You guys want to go take a drive to Wendy's? And we have a Dairy Queen. That's it.
Yuck. Well,
If you want fast food, you're having Dairy Queen. That's it.
I like Dairy Queen.
Yeah. It's
My
fine.
body
It's great.
doesn't, but I do.
I don't have a gallbladder, and so I can't have half of that menu. And I also don't like dairy stuff. So, you know, my teeth, I'm old. I'm getting old. My vampirism is setting in. You know, it's not as fun as it used to be. And when you go there all the time, but it's a small community. So, like every Thursday, if you bring your kids and your family up to Dairy Queen, then 20% of your bill goes to help the Pequot Lakes baseball team. Come on down. So, everybody will be like lined up in the drive-through line with half of them being on snowmobiles. Hey, John, how you doing? I'm doing good. And everybody's like, in line to help the baseball team.
It's
And
so
everybody
weird that in your area, everyone's driving around on snowmobiles, and in my area, everyone's driving around on golf carts. We have like a golf cart pharmacy drive-through. We have 400 golf spots at the high schools. Like it's literally 400 miles of golf paths, golf
go.
cart trails,
Can you
and
walk on the paths? Can you walk on the golf cart path?
yeah, bike and golf, and I mean, not golf, don't golf, bike and walk. Bike and walk and run.
But you could rollerblade. Like we could rollerblade on it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we can rollerblade.
See, that's what that's what I think about. It's here in Minnesota. It's only kind of nice a few months out of the year, really, for that kind of stuff. But when it is, it's really nice. So, like, one of the things I've been wanting to do is go get ice skates and go out on the ice and just skate out on a open lake by myself with my headphones on. Right?
Yeah, I think that would
I
be
have a fear of
awesome.
frozen water, so I've not done it since I nearly died as a child, and it kind of scares me.
Well, if you saw me ice skating, you would understand why I don't. It'd be like the giraffe that gave birth to the baby, and like if that was a musical like ice skating routine, that's me. Yeah, like yeah, mine would be. That's my legs. That wasn't my arms. That would be what my legs looked like.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, no, it
The
would not.
wobbly horse is what we
It's
would
a good
call it.
exercise, but to see the thing is people like in my mind, I'm like, it's gonna be beautiful and it's gonna be wonderful. I'm gonna be skating and I'm gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be great. There's gonna be mist on the ice and stuff. The reality is I hit somebody's fishing ice hole because I'm not paying attention and I
That's what I'm
fall
afraid of.
in, or you hit a crack and go face first into something because some ski-doo is out there and whipping
And then
shitties
it's
or
your fault that
something.
you just busted up the whole lake and everyone fell in, and then
And you can only be out there for so long before your stuff starts freezing.
yeah,
So
your
if you
stuff.
get too far, it's kind of like Martian, like with that Matt Damon, where you be like, "Ah, it takes 11 minutes to get back, and I've already been out 11 minutes. That means I've been exposed for 24, 22 minutes."
I like
And
that you gave Matt Damon that that voice. It sounds just like him.
it's, thank you. It's a weird space. And so I don't like to do math if I'm going to be out like skating. That seems too much. But maybe I'll do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try. Samantha in the chat room, she asked a question. I'll pop it up. What is the next step for Sarah and Kenna? And when is the next crystal sale?
January 11th for
11th.
the crystal sale.
Always on the 11th. And you know what? For those people in my Patreon, for those Gypsy Tribe people, I send out my astrological cheat. And the January, I mean, of course people know this, right? January 11th, 2021.
11121.
1120. Yeah, right. This is like a numerological wet dream, but it's the 11th every month. So you don't have to worry about missing it. If you miss it this month or next month, no worries. But gosh, yeah, the crystal sale. And then what's next? So I know the Savannah Paracon, depending on when COVID allowing, that is something to look forward to, right? Being able to explore some haunted places in Savannah. And then I think you just possibly booked also. I don't know if you're talking about it. Are you talking about it?
I don't know. I mean, I guess we're talking about it. Are you talking with
Shmemer, memer, mishmer?
Shmeeny Mimi?
Yeah, shmemer, meme, shmells.
So you're talking about Waverly. Is that what you're talking about? Shmeemy. Yes. So yes, I am going with some of my podcast pals to Waverly on an
Gosh, I can't wait.
adventure.
I can't wait.
I am very, very, very excited about Waverly because
Who on the chat room? I'm wondering who, because we've just got people from all different places. Who who's been to Waverly? I've been to Have you been to Waverly before? You've never been?
No, I haven't been to
Okay,
Waverly.
never
Has
been.
Sam, have you been? Has Sam been to Waverly before?
Oh, I'm sure. I would think because
Where hasn't
Samantha,
Sam been is actually the
right?
question. We
She
should ask.
travels so often and does the Estes sessions. You guys can watch those live. She does seances and crap.
Oh, speaking of that, I had a crazy Estes session with her in Atchison, Kansas at the Glick. Uh, yeah, see, I figured she had been there.
Been there, Marco.
Um, when we were doing an Estes session and Sam was like, Kenna, you go under, you try, like you do it. So I had the headphones on and we were doing, and I was saying what we were hearing. So we were in this across from the Sally house. Or wait,
Yeah,
hang on.
that's right.
Sam, is this all a secret? This is public to say?
We might be giving top secret information away. She's got to check. She's got to
Yes.
check.
Okay. Well, regardless.
They were at
Anyways,
this place and it was
so we
haunted.
were at
It was
this
a
place
haunted
that's
place.
supposedly haunted, but not like a well-known haunting. And then we stayed in the attic where, well, just even being aware or psychic or whatever the word that is labeled, like several people have picked up on kids here and stuff like that. And we did okay, just making sure. Yeah. We did an Estes session when I was under, and she was asking questions, and we were thinking that they're like the evidence that was being picked up and the stuff that was coming through the different experiments that we were doing. We were getting that there was a couple of girls in the attic. We were getting names and stuff like that, and we were thinking that they were trapped. And I swear to you, I've never heard anything like this. I was where my bed was in the attic. The attic it's a bed and breakfast now, but it's got the walls where it's kind of like that, and then the bed's right here. So if you sit up too fast, you'll hit your head. It's shaped like a.
Yeah.
So my wall is kind of like that. So I'm sitting there doing the Estes method, and where's my camera? So the wall's behind me like this, but slanted. You can hear nail. It is so loud. You can hear it through the EV. You can hear it through our recording. Something goes down the wall behind me where we thought the girls were trapped. Like you can hear something just scratch down the roof behind me. And then Sam was like, "Oh my God, you need to listen to this now." And when she played it, she was like, "There was the weirdest noise. I wonder if we got it." And when we played it back, you could hear it so loud. It was very interesting. There's a lot of
Or by
correlating evidence.
chance. Correlating evidence that came through.
Yeah. Yes.
And just things that were happening while you guys were on the phone.
Yeah. We were trying several different experiments. So we had our friend Liz on the phone at her house doing Estes method with us at the same time to see if we could get correlating information over the phone. Yeah, that was really, really, it was
Man,
very
I remember the
interesting.
last time I was in Atchison, I got bats in my hair.
Bats in your hair? Where were you at?
I was right down where you were at. I was at a bed and breakfast, very similar, kind of right around that Atchison area, because Atchison, they claim, as many small towns in the Midwest do, or Salem, or Savannah, or Peoria,
St.
Iowa,
Augustine and
St.
yes.
Augustine, the most haunted town in America. But Atchison, Kansas, just as Savannah, Georgia, like all of these places, very, very, very notable paranormal experiences. And Atchison, Kansas is one of those weird spaces, one of those weird little towns. Man, you can
It's
just
an
drive through
Erie,
it real quick.
Indiana town.
It
Yeah.
is. It's like a zombie apocalypse town. It's like an old Western town where there's these cute little old Victorian houses. Then there's these little like meth looking houses. Then there's like a little rundown Casey's gas station. And then a library, a courthouse, a post office, and you're done. And
But the way that things happen in Atchison is weird. Like the town has this different frequency or something like that. I feel the same way about Savannah. When I walk into Savannah, the energy, the air, everything is crispy. It feels different. Atchison was the same way. It started with us we had a weird experience in a bed and breakfast. We had a weird experience at McIntyre. But we were led to this really cool antique store, and this woman was just happened to be walking by when they had this they had like a poster board, not a poster board, but like a bulletin board, and they had these pictures that says our store is haunted. Do you see our hauntings? And I was like, whoa, this is cool. Okay, because a lot of people don't acknowledge stuff like that.
Right.
And they had these pictures, and I'm the first person to throw an orb picture away. Just I've seen so much dust and so much rain and so much dirt where people are like, look at these 30 orbs in the cemetery. And it's like, no, that's not. So, but their orbs were unlike any orbs I've seen before. They were just like gigantic orbs, and they were these weird colors. They didn't look like the normal dust particle picture. And so
Oh.
I just happened to be saying something to to somebody about, whoa, this place is haunted. And there was a woman that was walking by when we were discussing this, and she just stopped with her back to me and turned around slowly, and she said, did you say haunted? And I was like, yeah. It was so weird. And then from this one interaction, she ended up meeting our group, and we ended up going to this woman's house. She has a super haunted house where all kinds of crazy things happen. And just from me saying haunted, she was like, oh my gosh, can y'all come to our house? There's these. It was just so interesting how weird the things lined up for us to find paranormal activity. Like it found us, and
Synchronicity.
yeah, that was a very eye-opening weekend. That was fun. That was really neat. Oh my goodness. And then Belvoir. Oh, that's a whole nother episode. But
Yeah, right. Belvoir and Kansas City, which, as far as going back to things that we are looking forward to doing in 2021, this is, again, guys, all COVID allowing, right? Because we don't know quite what to expect. I know someone had even asked that. What do you expect, Psychic Sarah, for 2021? There's a lot of stuff, right? We're going to be working on predictions all this week, the Gypsy Tribe stuff and Patreon, different things, classes online, kind of generating that psychic foresight for. Oh, that's your dog. Oh, God, I thought that was an alien.
Rocky is guarding
Oh,
the
I thought
hunter
it was an
resident.
alien intervening. I thought it was responding to me.
Strike two.
Strike two. Sarah, be more objective. Okay. It wasn't. But no, that 2021, we have Savannah is a goal, Savannah and Atlanta. So to be hitting those is a goal. Another one is Kansas City, Missouri. Any of those Missouri people out there, that's a goal. Waverly Hills, so Lexington or Louisville, or those people, that is on the map. Colorado, Colorado Springs, Colorado. There's a tree house, holistic, make your own food farm, friendly, self-sufficient tree house, bed and breakfast, spiritual retreat in Colorado.
That's fun.
Oh my gosh, so much fun stuff. COVID, let's do this. We've got to, right?
I know. I'm interested to see how 2021 is going to go. It's a lot of sitting and waiting for me right now to see.
Well, what I
I have,
will share astrologically is that according to the stars, we like to say that it's in that psychic liability, right? According to the stars, things get really, really good in February.
it's because it's my
Things
birthday.
for
I'm just gonna
February
show
12th,
you
for
it.
anybody that wants to send her daisies or
Crystal.
lilies or crystals, join us on the 11th and buy a crystal. A crystal for you, two crystals for me. Three. Give them all. Crystals. I love my Cerberus. I just kind of keep reminding people this is fluorite.
I'm really digging. So I'm packaging the crystal cells up. Oh,
Anyway,
but
all sorts of plans if it goes well. And February is supposed to be very positive, and money and growth and health. The health stuff's supposed to get better, but probably because there's going to be a very, very, very big push for the vaccine. There's going to be a major freedom push. It's either going to be a loss of freedom or a gain of freedom, major. But the health-wise is going to look great.
yeah, that's what I'm interested in seeing. Like, I can't even make permanent plans until let's get to February, and then we'll reevaluate. I feel like
Yeah, after January 20th is always a really good time to make decisions. That's the inauguration day. And so, kind of knowing what is going to be happening in America, at least, because we even had some events overseas, one in Scotland, one in the UK, the opportunity to be really traveling, Canada, Mexico, all sorts of really cool places, man. And man, Samantha asked the hot question. Will you take that question, Kenna? Kenna
Yeah,
says
I'm not. I'm not. I'm a nurse, and that I mean, I have a lot of nurse friends that are frontline workers that have already gotten it. They were the first in line. They're excited about it. Um, I don't do the flu shot either. I don't. I think that I think it makes you a lot sicker. I mean, and I know people are going to disagree with me, but we're all allowed to have our Rocky. Mind your business.
he
Sorry.
says,
He's
she's
telling Ross. He's in there telling Roscoe, his boss. Poor Roscoe's just like, I just want to lick my leg, and Rocky's like, get out of my spot.
It's interesting. There are headlines today about like first responders and those people that work in the medical community that they want to be able to have the right to refuse,
Yes,
but they also want to be able to have the right to choose whether it's the Moderna or the Pfizer or this or that. They
and
feel
that
like they want more information and to be able to wait or still have their
that's
job if they just say, "Can I wait to get more information?"
and that's what I want. I'm not anti-vax, but I want more information. I've already seen a nurse. I've already seen some side effects that concern me, and I have a friend that is in the Marines, and because of vaccinations, she has completely lost her immune system and is fighting for her life practically. So I've seen different sides of it. So
Right. It's
me
that's one of
personally,
those.
yeah,
It's a tough question. I know if my sister's listening, which she probably isn't, but if she was, she would jump on that because her and I disagree. And anytime I say, like, I'm skeptical of that, she's like, that's it. You're an anti-vaxxer. I can't even talk to
yeah,
you. And I'm like,
I'm
no,
not.
it's that
But
I don't think there should be a one size fits all. I don't think it's okay to give the same vaccine that you're giving 3 doses to a human male to an infant child.
yeah,
I think that
well,
there
that's where the Injury Act of 1986 comes into play, and that's when you're like, oh, they had to do that. Wait, why? So why can't? There's, we could go down that rabbit hole, but it's after
you're a
researching,
nurse.
I'm just like,
You've done your research. You have
yeah.
your reasons. We have
One
our
of the things that
research.
does, one of the things that bothers me, that's a red flag to me, that should be, I mean, what can you do? What can you do? Like, people are forced to vaccinate some, in certain areas, whether they want to or not. But one thing that does is interesting to me. Why don't they give the whole printout when you take a vaccination? You just get the paper afterwards after you've got your shots. But if you have like Tylenol or anything like that, it tells you all about it. But the
It's because
vaccinations, you don't. Yeah. I
the
mean, sorry.
no, it's that it really goes into that emergency act where in a state of emergency, and that's kind of what makes me nervous, is I would like to be able to take that when we are no longer in a state of emergency and I have some paper trail to who can be held accountable if and when I have questions. Just if or when I have questions, because my mother-in-law has lupus, my father has good pasture syndrome, my sister
Mhm.
has, a degenerative back disorder. It's one of those where I consider myself quite lucky. I'm also one of the only people that's not heavily vaccinated. I've got all of my immunizations, but when I worked with the military, I was private and working as a civilian, whereas my husband in the military was not, and they are heavily vaccinated and they
Yeah.
are done it in an assembly line without question.
That's
And
what happened to my friend. That's what I watched while we were at Walter Reed. We watched her go through this.
my
And that was
husband
because
got
of that arm in the line pop you in it completely. So, I mean, it's very controversy. I think everyone has to make their own opinion on that. That's the only answer. No one's right or wrong. You have to do what's right in your reality. So,
right. And it should be
maybe
an informed decision. It shouldn't
that's
be about
I want more information. I
a
want
selfie.
I want more of a study, but I 100% commend. So I have some of the best nurse friends that are sitting there, and they say, I would much rather be the first in line to take this vaccine than watch anyone else die on that ventilator. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I get
And
it.
And so, and that's where I struggle is I'm completely for the people who choose to go get vaccinated. I'm not going to be like, you should be ashamed.
Yeah.
I just ask what brought you to that decision so that I can be informed on what got you there so that maybe I could be closer to that decision.
Right. I don't have a
And
lot of information, so I can't give.
well, firsthand information is always great. So someone who did receive it to be able to say, did they check your temperature before they gave it to you? Did they make sure that you weren't showing any symptoms of any immunocompromised disorders before giving it to you? Had you been exposed in any way, shape, or form before receiving the vaccine? And
Yeah.
are you going to be continuing exposure for 30 days? Like, are they at all
And
documenting it, or is it just
well, the most important question to ask ourselves here is, did you watch the episode of The Simpsons, the COVID-23? Because if you watch that, then you will understand why I struggle because The Simpsons are always right. So I base all of my predictions on The Simpsons. Not really, but
well,
right.
this week we're going to be talking about that. That's one of the other things on the Patreon and the Gypsy Tribe that's like for serious because I mean, and some people should know they've like predicted assassinations, predicted all sorts of wild things happening for 2021.
Heart attacks and
Heart attacks, COVID, after apocalypse. Oh my gosh, I was watching Johnny Mnemonic with Keanu Reeves last night, which is like from the 90s, you know? Man, go back and watch that movie and freak yourself out
what movie?
because Johnny Mnemonic, you guys, first of all, tomorrow is National Science Fiction Day for anybody who needs that daily accountability. Again, something on the Patreon. Part of that meditation is like, what is today? What is today? Um, but so the writer, William Gibson, uh, he does all sorts of really cool sci-fi things. So I'll be talking about him tomorrow. But the Johnny Mnemonic film, it's really creepy. And just listening to the beginning of it, based on a story of a character who has a cybernetic brain implant, Neuralink, and he is in a dystopic future. It's in the 2030s, I believe. And there's an East Asian influence coming from a mega corporation that is trying to stop a big pharma. It's like basically like a data heroin addiction that people have because it's like being addicted to social networks and people being so glitchy that and they can't function and big pharma keeping them from this and people using their chip to smuggle information from one place to the next because the internet has been hijacked by the new quantum realm and the post-apocalyptic epidemic that had us all deliver over our health and privacy for safety in the early 2020s. And then it pans out to this China SARS NOS craziness and he's walking around in his suit and you're like,
Time travelers.
wait a minute, who wrote this? When did this come out? You're listening like now, like, and the great pandemic of 2020, when the great world, and you're like, go back. Wait a minute. This is just a normal brownie, right? What's happening? Is this real? Wait, how old is this movie? It's freaky. And then, you go into, I really love science fiction. And then you go into some of the other stories. Of course, the writer is like in his 70s now. He's 72, but has written like neuromancer, like necromancer, only neuromancer, all sorts of the Matrix. He talks about the Matrix way before the Matrix ever came out, which is funny that Keanu Reeves then, of course, later plays in the Matrix. It's kind of a nod to, I wonder who in Hollywood is like giving us the wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm a vampire and you should look into this because Nicolas Cage and all of his Ascension movies. Ah, know what I'm saying?
Do you hear Adley?
I do. She's like, it's been an hour, Mom. You said
She's
1
in
hour
there.
podcast. You got
She's
3
in there
minutes.
doing. I guess they must have gone to get food or something. I just heard them come back in, and she said, "Who's Uncle Boy? Who's Uncle Boy?" That's like what she's in there. But she's got this like little girl manly voice when she does it. She's already trying to work on her
I love
impression,
it. I
like
love it.
Auntie
She's
Sarah.
so
Yeah.
Yep. Gotta have impressions. Gotta confuse them. Got to confuse them. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing uh there's Matt popped in. Samantha, Angel, all sorts of people. And guys, we're kind of at our hour. And I know with them coming in with lunch, it is lunchtime. It's a lunch break. We want to stay at an hour. We want to be good. We want to try and be consistent. And we are actually sending this out to some friends of ours to possibly see about nestling ourselves in with some other people that we love doing podcasts with so that we can use this platform, guys, each week to talk Monday and Friday. So Monday to start the week, get you going on what to expect from the week, talk news, talk about inspiring things to look forward to. And then on Friday, wrap it up. See what you got going for the weekend, touch base and see how your week was. And just to be able to know that you can join Kenna and I every lunch on Monday and Wednesday and get an idea of what to look forward to for either the week or weekend, and possibly even be joining us on some cool experiment or adventure that's going to be weird and paranormal in some way, shape, or form. Or crystal sales. We do a lot of crystal stuff, or think that we're seeing aliens, but we're not. It's just flybys from the local military base. Panic attacks. You might see some myself or Kenna having a panic attack live on air. We're both subject to a range of anagrams. ADD, ADHD, GAD, OCD, PTSD, CPTSD. Between the two of us, we've got you covered. And we can empathize with you and help you get through it. We've got the chocolate, we've got the coffee, we've got the crystals.
Oh, I like your mug shot. That's cute.
Yeah, this was one of my forensic psychology gifts when I got my master's. I got people. Well, I was a big, anyway, it's a long story. I got weird gifts and this was one of them. So I really like it. But anyway, you guys, I hope that you guys will join us. I hope that you will catch us on Monday around noon, depending on where you live. Just tune in for notifications on Kenna and Sarah Versus, or on thewonderingfurther.com or on paranormalsarah.com. You'll see updates and you will find us. And we just want to check in with you twice a week, see how you're doing. So check in with us. Let us know how you're doing. What do you got going this weekend, Kenna?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I can't figure it out. Hotels.com's got me messed up.
That's right. You might be swimming with manatees. You might not be.
You might be
swimming with Rice Krispies, or you might be, what rhymes with might be? Might be going to UFC. Go fight me. I don't know. Who knows what you're going to be doing? Every time I think of going south, I think of going crawdad hunting, or
I used to crawdad hunt when I was a little buck.
Swimming in the ocean, collecting dirt.
Collecting dirt.
All those good things. I'm going to be heading out. Studio caught fire yesterday. That was 2020. My unit's okay. I think. I've heard from 3 people that it's okay. But we got to trek at the foot of snow into the studio to see if there's any damage. But our building probably won't be open as planned for any New Year's events. So I'll be staying in, cooking, doing some things on the Patreon. And Samantha says, let's go to New Orleans. New Orleans it's on my list, It's on my list. It's on my list. I love New Orleans. If you're in New Orleans, the Bahati witch, the Bahati tribe, she's one of my favorite astrologers. She's now in New Orleans. She moved from Pennsylvania to New Orleans. And Myrtle Beach.
Plantation.
My uncle lives on Myrtle Beach. He collects pinball machines. He's got a skidoo, I think.
Oh, you said Myrtle Beach. I said Myrtle Plantation.
Oh, that's what she means, though, too, is Myrtle Plantation and NOLA. I was thinking Myrtle Beach.
No, Myrtle Plantation with Chloe, right?
I don't know. New Orleans? Guys, if we go to New Orleans, this is what's going to happen. It's going to be a retreat, and we're going to do paranormal things, but we're also going to do witchy things. We're going to go to the cemetery and do some cool photo shoots. And we're going to go under a willow tree, and we're going to eat food, po' boys. I would want to be doing like goofer dust and voodoo. We'd be wanting to do voodoo things. Learning about that.
All your ideas right now. You got.
I mean, there's so many ideas. We'd go right now. I'd get a beignet and a creme brulee. Oh my gosh, I just roll in the powdered sugar. Oh my gosh,
Hmm.
COVID, be gone with you, COVID, be
I
gone.
know. I
And
know. I
that way
want to
we
get
can
back
do
to
this because all these retreats, the Colorado retreat, I have a California, oh my gosh, I have an Oregon, the northern redwoods of Oregon. It's outside of Medford to Eugene, a little bed and breakfast where you go out to the sea and you walk out onto a pier and have crab legs for like $9 a pound. And you look at the sun going down on the ocean and the redwoods
I'm so
there.
down.
Yes,
I'm
be
so
gone,
down. I'm
COVID,
ready
be
to see
gone.
what traveling is going to look like.
Yes, there's a place, there's UFOs coming out of these places. There's all sorts of like Skinwalker Ranch type locations. We've got some amazing authors that we're going to be interviewing for the Kenna and Sarah podcast and just for different things that if COVID allows, that maybe we'll be out interviewing them in person, right? And what's fun is that we do it in the presence of like our friends, family, and children. So, you guys, it's fun and professional, but it's also casual, and we want you to come with us. So, pack up your stuff or not. Join us from the seat of your pants or not. Join us in person if you can. Um, whether
Or
it's
not.
Monday, Skywalker, she says. You mean skinwalk? Oh, Sky. Don't you say that, Samantha. Shh, shh, shh. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. She's giving secrets away. Yeah, places where you go and you do a drum circle at night. Hey, aliens, come on out. Hey, aliens, come on
She's
out.
not kidding though.
I'm
So
serious. I'm not kidding. Where you're looking around like, these people are crazy. But okay, if you sing, they'll come. It's like, okay, what's the song? Aliens, okay, coming out. Oh my God! And then they're there. And then they're there. Do, 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 do. And they're like there. Crazy places. Crazy places. These places exist and I want to go. So, COVID allowing, we're going to make it happen. So, I'm so sorry. I know I've had a lot of coffee, but
I know
it's
I was
amazing.
watching you drink your coffee and I was like, dang it, I knew I forgot something.
I
That's what I
know. Well, you guys, tomorrow is if you're at all interested in aliens, I know there's a lot of thumbs up there. You guys, we are doing the Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. If you're into that sort of thing and following that guy, we're doing a vectoring tomorrow on January 2nd. We're gonna post more about that online. Don't forget. There's Liz Beck, my favorite rune maker. Crazy adventures. Yes, alien adventures. Gosh, guys, think of all the crazy fun adventures we can have just because we've been planning it all through 2020, right? Where do you want to go most of all, Kenna?
most there's
Oh,
not a most of all. There's so many places that I want to go to and that I can't be like most of all. But I am really excited about Waverly because I've heard so many different
I've got so
stories. I know, but the
I
same
know.
as Old South, I've also heard people say nothing happened to me at all that night, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, and it is like that, but I'm excited to see it. It looks humongous.
Well, I think about the last time that I was at Waverly. I mean, I've been there a handful of times, and every time I've gone, there's been something crazy happened.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to right now. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Oh, someone in the chat room said, "Kenna, tell her what you did to me at Lizzie Borden."
Oh,
What did you do?
yes. Well, it was late at night and everyone was nestled in their bed. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning. I don't remember how late it was. No, it
Oh,
wasn't that
the
late, but it
house.
was, yes. And there was a white bonnet and a white apron hanging there, and I had heard the tale of the lady in white. So, so I wore it and started walking through. I know people still had their doors kind of open, so I was just slowly walking through people's doors, and I did get a very good yelp from Samantha. I scared the crap out of her in my lady in white outfit. She made me very
Lady
happy.
in white.
But I feel
She's
like either
walking around Kenna. Sorry.
I think she got me back. I think she scared me. Either she scared me or something scared me. So I was given my medicine back.
And that's okay because we have fun like that. And we're not going to be all Samantha says it was at 1:30 in the morning. Reminder. Um, I've not
Yes.
been to Lizzie Borden House. That's another place I have not been, that I know is on a lot of people's to go to. The Lizzie Borden, the Velisca, these kinds of spaces, the Belvoir. Guys, there's so many locations. How about we do this? How about you guys post on your feed this week? Post on your feed where you'd like to go and then tag us in it. Tag the Sarah and Kenna Verses, and we'll put it on our list if it's a place we don't already have on our list. And then we'll see what we come up with. On Monday, we're going to be, Kenna might be joining us from somewhere remotely. She might not. Again, it's all kind of allowing depending on how things are going. And but we are going to be tuning in for just to kind of see how your first weekend went. And astrologically speaking, there's all kinds of strange things going on. So I want to know what you guys have planned this weekend. Kari says Velisca is a must. Have you been to Velisca?
No, I have not, but I want to. That is on my list. I do want to go there.
See,
And
this
it's
is one of those.
scary.
This is one of those. So anybody who would want to, this is something, it's one of those retreat ideas because I go to Kansas City, and from Kansas City to Minnesota, it's one highway, baby, 35 highway, and it goes through Iowa. And anybody who has to drive through Iowa knows there's not a lot in Iowa. So Velisca, you're going to drive past it. And we could do Kansas City, Missouri, and Missouri related spaces. And then for anybody wanting to do the drive, do like a road trip experience up to Minnesota. And then people could fly out of MSP if they wanted to go home and fly or something. But that would be, we could hit Velisca and all. I mean, there's Davenport, Iowa, Peoria, Iowa, some really strange haunted locations, beautiful bridges, gorgeous, amazing, amazing things. Martha doesn't let you tape, and she doesn't like Facebook Lives. Who's Martha? Who's Martha? Oh, she's talking about Velisca, a ghost. I ain't afraid of no ghost. We ain't afraid. Ken, are you afraid?
No, but I'm hungry.
Okay. Yeah, it's time. It's 2:30, Sarah. It's been too long. Stop it for our, gosh, there's so many places, guys. Again, tag yourself, make a post where you would like to go this year. Tell us where you'd like to go and just tag us in your post so that we can see what you're up to. And then you can let others know where they can follow two crazy chicas doing some weird, wild stuff, you guys. But the majority of it is just that we're going to be fun. We're going to have satire. We're going to have sarcasm and hopefully a lot of learning too. That's the goal. Oh, she's the owner at Velisca. Our equipment still does not work from that place. Ooh, weird. Oh, I'm mixing comments. Crazy. People are just talking about all sorts of places coming to Massachusetts. Aaron wanting to go to Massachusetts. Yes. Again, COVID, be gone. We want to know where you're at, where you're going. Gosh, I want to go to all those places. Let's go to all of them. Let's plan it. Let's together, and with the aliens that we vector in tomorrow evening, we ask that they remove this great pandemic and that we can all again return to our paranormal adventures. Right? Please?
You've had too much coffee. I've had too little coffee.
Okay, that's it. We're going to let you guys go. You guys find us online, Kenna and Sarah Versus, or wonderingfurther.com or paranormalsarah.com. And if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to send them to us directly. And then at the very least, we will see you Monday morning. Not too early. It's at noon, so you don't have to worry. You'll catch us as long as you just wake up at some time at a decent hour, which you will because it's a new year. We're doing that shit. All right, guys, we'll see you on Monday. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Until next time.